Greetings, adventurers. It's Chris AKA NAS back with new adventures in Skyrim. I hope everything's going well with you and you're taking care of yourselves and the ones you love. Today we pick up with episode 12 of Octarin Stevius and some of the wolves of the 11th. They're going to be heading what was once east, but now south, to the campsite where the rest of the wolves are, where they intend to go out and clear Tolvald's cave, to clear a route to Morrowind and then report back to Solitude. Before we hop in character, below every video, sorry, I always want to say story, below every episode and video is a companion story. Those stories can give insight, exposition, details, links to other lore or videos, things like that, that I can't always fit in without breaking character or ruining the tempo or the way that I RP. So if you're interested and want more insight into what's going on, check that out below, and it's time-stamped along with the RP to just help navigate you along like that. With that said, I'm going to take a quick sip of water. My voice is a little hoarse today. I apologize for that. But if I was doing Glamic, it actually wouldn't be that big of a deal at all. But I'm not, so I'm going to wing this and see how we do. I'm going to mute myself, let you enjoy the cold atmosphere, and get myself a sip of water. When I come back, we're going to hop in character and see you at the end. Alright, wolves, that was the first night that we've had the luxury of all sleeping, as we actually had people to watch. It was nice. Hey, Borg. She was actually up talking most of the night, but I'm going to get my wolves down here, give them a quick brief. We're going to be on our way, head south around that lake. Pick it up here in a moment. Alright, you two, I'm going to continue on, nothing crazy. You all fed, healed up, so am I. We have sent a couple, thanks to the watch captain, several Imperial groups out to patrol where we have found those Falmer, as you all know. As you both know. They're not listening. Additionally, I sent a couple other missives just about reports. They were gracious enough to send us a sentry, so one of you didn't have to run all the way back. So let's head on out, get around this. We'll pick up around the river, warm up a little bit. I hate this weather. I need to maybe snag one of these capes, warm up a little bit. I think I'm getting too old for this. One of the, I can't tell them, but one of the missives that I did send was a request for retirement. And as I mentioned, I need to just take it easy. These wounds aren't healing like they used to. Potions don't have the kick that they used to. I'm starting to hurt a lot more need these days, and I can't openly say that, not amongst them anyway. So this may be exactly what I need. Just, what was that? Are they attacking civilians? Wolves, go left. Find out what's going on. I'm going right. Go, go. Oh, that's just a civilian. Stay engaged. I'm flanking. Come on here. I gotta get some. There we go. Surprise. There we go. Good swing, Sten. Yes, surprise. One more. It's mine. Yes. Whew. Wasn't expecting that. I'm not sure what kind of spell they cast on your helmet, but they're lucky. You're lucky it hit that, not your face. Whew. Good eyes, wolves. I guess I gotta shake this sleep off. Sorry about that. I can't believe that's downright embarrassing. Lost in thought so much I walked face first into an ambush. That's the last time I do something boneheaded like that. Then again, it's good to have them here. Allows me to do that. I probably could have just stood back and watched. Well, alright, wolves, let's pick it up like we said. The camp's not far. It'll be nice to get up with the rest of the wolves right now. I don't know what happened here. Maybe our scouts. Yeah, I need to keep my head in the game here, not start thinking about what's going to happen if I retire, if I don't make it to retirement. Where am I going here? Alright, well, let's circle up and map up right here. I'm fairly confident we're headed up that way. Let me map up and check. Indeed. Let's slow down. We're right up here. I don't want to surprise anyone. Well, when we get there, we're going to have a little bit of a relaxing day, wolves. We'll set some watch, and I don't want to hear any groaning, but we have our combat and leadership conduct reviews to go over. Do some assessments. And then tomorrow, we're going to go in. I may send you, Stev, in there. I'm not sure right now who's going to go in. Not you. We'll give you a little bit of rest. Send someone to scout out the cave. I'll think about who. Don't worry. It's not a punishment. The only punishment is they're going to be the ones sitting down with me and going over their record first. So we'll see how that works out. There's someone chopping trees off somewhere in the distance. Better be them getting their fires ready. Right up over here. A little home away from home, if you will. Just noticed that beehive. I wonder if we're farming that. Now I'm going to chop it down. I'll tell you, even when things are great, it just always raises the spirits to be among the other wolves. Hail, Eric! Those busting rocks up there, what did they do to get in trouble? What are the odds it's Cosnach and Eric's gotta watch him? Alright, wolves, let's circle up. Check my map real quick. Alright, you wolves. Officers aside over there, oh, excuse me. We're going to be doing our combat and leadership conduct reviews here. I know, keep the groans to yourself. After that, we're going to set to reconning the cave, turning to for the night. Again, we can take some personal time, go over our gear, get ready for anything that's going to come to tomorrow. And if you have any questions, hit me up. For now, let's just go about our business, set our watches, set our sentries, do our recon, and stand by for your combat and leadership conduct reviews. And I don't want to hear another groan. First, with Marcario gone, that left just Uthi and Eric to go over the officer-related side of the house. Turns out, though, Cosnach had another incident with belligerence towards officers, not wanting to recon as he was saying it wasn't necessary and talking back. Now, I know Cosnach and them also, and this is an issue with them both that will need addressing. Cosnach is to blame, but so too are they, in that they need to be responsible for their lack of oversight and leadership. They took it well enough, as this was informal and any officer-related reviews and assessments are actually done back in garrison with higher-ranked officers involved. And truth be told, there aren't any 3 officers I'd rather serve with than these 2 and Mark. General Tullius aside, maybe, but there's always room for improvement, is my point. That done, it was time to do some combat leadership conduct reviews. The troops all hate this, and understandably so. I just sit there and tell them of their performance, and since, as it was just with the officers, it's a mix of both good and bad, some don't take too kindly to them. But we do as we must, and after the other 2 officers gave their input, I set to the task. My pa always used to say, the nail that sticks out gets hammered down. I never really got it, but right now, Cosnach was that nail that had to get hammered down. He wasn't happy, and I had to navigate this tactfully because the truth is he is the best scout we have, period. And that's with no magical assistance like Mark and Ilya have. But we have to first keep him sober, then busy. And if you don't keep this wolf busy, he'll revert right back to the former. He's like a working dog. You just have to keep him busy and pointed at something. Promotional material? Definitely not, but an amazing and one-of-a-kind asset. Just a challenge to command, but that's a, well, challenge. And it's a challenge for us to overcome, not something to give up in the face of adversity. Now, he wasn't happy, and I only cared to a small degree, but I did tell him he'd likely be formally reprimanded had not Eric stepped in and had him busting rocks for the better part of 2 days to help him think of his mistakes while burning some energy. In light of this, to keep it fresh in his mind that he is not in charge here, I am dispatching Cosnach to recon the cave as of the conclusion of our meeting. So he's going to go ahead and do that, report back tomorrow morning, and as I like to say, nothing is a problem until it's a problem. Hopefully at this point he won't make it a problem again. Vorstag next. He's a unique fellow. Quiet and prefers to speak through his actions. He's not very close to anyone, but not at odds with anyone. And while not a promotion, but a lateral move, I think he's going to move out of the Scout Corps and into the Armor Corps. He prefers that hammer, dislikes his bow, and has proficiency with the heavy armor and also the eagerness to get into it. But due to that lack of outward motivational skills and seeming indifference to promotion and rank, at least in terms to what he accrues for himself, promotion is not likely. Now, Vorstag isn't young, but he is in terms of service, and in spite of his middle age, he's eager to fight in battle and get into the thick of things. I think that's his main reason for getting into some plate armor. He prefers to get into it as opposed to quickly skirting combat and hitting from the outside. This is something I need to address him on, as fighting from a position outside the said thick of things can be very advantageous depending on the circumstances, and circumstances dictate everything in combat. I prefer to get a view of the battlefield, not just the battle. You can't see enemy reinforcements or traps, flanking maneuvers, incoming cavalry, and the such. If you only see shields, swords, and the swirling dust and chaos of combat around you. He has a lot to learn, and while not eager to learn per se, he does learn, and there's a lot of potential there. Ah, Hunter. A gem. Our newest and youngest Scout Corps member. To be upfront, we don't know if she's a hunter or her name is Hunter. And we know little to nothing of her besides her coming from Hammerfell and us having checked with the ambassadors that we have and her coming out clean. With that, we don't discriminate in the Legion, and she was more than welcome to join and has been an extremely welcomed addition. As she's new, she's extremely eager and bordering on brash. Again, this is what makes the 11th Legion so unique, in that we promote from within ourselves. This fire is necessary. It's progress. It is action. And with that, we need the cooler-headed veterans. We need those that understand sometimes the best action may be to wait and think. She is the fire to Vorstag's ice. In light of this, while not immediate, she is going to be promoted to Vorstag's billet of Bravo Team Scout Leader once he is moved up into the Armored Corps. I'm eager to get her more in direct tutelage of Marcurio, as she has her combat magic that can be fostered, and his attitude can perhaps temper that inner flame somewhat, or teach her to manage and better focus it. Belrand is a wonderful addition here. He's practical, he's efficient, he's quiet, but he also has no qualms speaking up when he should. And he's another one of those checks against Cosnach's negative attitudes sometimes. And of all of the other wolves, I think Cosnach respects him the most. They have served together for a while, and Belrand is more disciplined and less of a drinker. A bit more disciplined is not entirely disciplined, though. He does take liberties sometimes, knowing he's in good graces, and rarely does anything that makes us not trust him. But he's a bit too casual and unprofessional at times, albeit not in a way that's generally problematic. The problems can arise if someone outside of the unit, namely an officer or a politician, sees something like that and doesn't understand the eccentricities of the 11th Legion and our penchant to operate on our own terms. Perhaps I can pair him up with Hunter and Mark. Another issue holding him back is his lack of desire to use his magic, and he has an ability but isn't disciplined. And instead of finding that discipline, he uses the lack of it as a reason not to venture into it in the first place. He's a solid piece of the foundation of us wolves. Borgok. We have a saying in the wolves: we don't care about your skin, your dialect, or your birthplace as long as you bleed Imperial red. This greenskin bleeds Imperial red and brings that green fire to it. My blood is calm. I'd rather it be boiling, or something is what she says. Again, I see in her that mix of a young and hot-blooded wolf with the nature and cool poise of a gray pack leader. Her main hurdle is going to be her green skin. The truth of the matter is, Orsimer are welcome in the Legion, but they tend to be exclusively serving in the front lines as troops or generally as smiths, rarely as leaders. And this isn't what most think in terms of it being Imperials targeting orcs. No, it's quite the opposite. Most of them see their ability, and as we tend to say, fit in where you get in. Don't force it, don't overreach. And they are some of, if not the premier smiths and top-notch armored troops in the Empire today. But few of them seek to ever lead. She doesn't. And I'm never going to make her. I am going to just try to guide her and see where she ends up. Borg is a definite promotion. Effective upon return to Solitude, she'll be put in for combat promotion to sergeant and put in a billet for officer field training. To me, she represents the Legion. Pure potential, and again, as mentioned, we say, fit in where you get in. She's fine fitting in right here, running with the wolves and tearing out the throats of any who stand in the Empire's way. But I'd be a complete fool and in complete disregard for my duties if I were not to say she's a general in the future, in plate armor. But regardless of what she chooses, she's always going to be one of us and embody the Emperor Titus Mede, his legions, and us wolves. Stenvar. He's the embodiment of honor. Originally joined because his family had first been removed from their lands by the Stormcloaks. And then when they attempted to do it a second time, an altercation left his brother, along with 3 Stormcloaks, dead. His family was then forced to flee regardless, but he decided that fleeing was not a thing. He and his brother were very close, which I get. Stenvar is our most proficient fighter. He's our bastion of strength and ferocity. I don't think there's anyone here that can best him, and that may be true of any 2 of us. And he hates it. He hates all of this. His family having to flee, his brother gone, being away from them all, and forced to fight because people wouldn't leave him alone for not supporting some cause that had nothing to do with him. Now, he's been doing this for several years, and it's taking its toll on him. Some of us enjoy what we do. Most of us do. He doesn't. He says he sees in the eyes of those he has killed the eyes of his brother. And that doesn't make any sense to me. I just know there's hurt, a lot of hurt in there. I hope he retires soon. But he feels that as long as these Stormcloaks are out here, doing those same things, he just can't put down his hammer. It's sad that we live in a world where men and women like Stenvar cannot just farm and have a family. I hope we can get him that world, and I pray to the 8 divines that we do. With combat leadership conduct reviews finally out of the way, I have a little bit of time to grab some grub and maybe catch some shut-eye. And tomorrow, into the cave we go. There's no place I'd rather be than right here, right now with my wolves. Well, adventurers, so closes this episode. I hope that you had fun with Octarin and I. We will catch you on the next adventure, and until then, take care of yourselves and the ones you love, and cheers!